Welcome back, Gusties. I hope you had a great spring break and that you're geared up for the rest of the semester. This week, I had a chance to sit down with Cab and the Fourth Crown to talk about this year's big speaker, Scott Dikkers, one of the founding editors of The Onion. Here's what they had to say about the event.
So this year, Scott Dikkers is coming to our campus. He was the founding editor, just kind of founding person in general of The Onion, which is a satirical publication. They do a lot of news and things like that. And so he was kind of brought up, and one of our committee members brought him to us, and we're like, okay, yeah, sounds interesting. And then the student body actually turned out to be very interested in him. We actually had to do 2 different rounds of voting this year, which we haven't really done in the past for a speaker, because there was so much interest in Scott Dikkers and then also one of our other speakers. And so it kind of got a little competitive there. But so he's coming to our campus, and he's going to kind of tell about the journey of finding your own passions and being excited about something enough to kind of take a risk and start it, because there wasn't necessarily a huge need explicitly for a satirical news site probably, but it was something that he was really interested in, really wanted to take a chance in it. So he's going to kind of tell us about that journey.
The Fourth Crown came about last January when myself, Nate Long, and Justin Fight all came together and just really wanted to do something fun as a project. We didn't really lay out exactly what that was at first. We just knew that we wanted to do something as a group of 3 friends who had similar senses of humor, so we bounced around a few different ideas and landed on this idea of a satirical publication for the Gustavus community. We just feel that it's the right setting for it. People laugh at themselves here. We're humble, but we really are engaged. So when we offer insightful commentary or come across it, it's something that people here really respond to quite well.
So I think what the Fourth Crown's big thing is representing Gustavus with a kind of like an overinflated self-image. And obviously that's really fun to tune into, be it something like the metaphor of going up the hill is kind of like going up the social ladder. So, yeah, I don't know if that's offensive to anyone, but...
Probably, I guess.
But yeah, and then obviously I think it's just at the core kind of telling what's going on at Gustavus in a comedic but insightful way.
The Onion is definitely like the best satirical news model that you can find. I mean, they have this very consistent voice. They have a true persona that they bring into every article. I think that's really rooted in that they're from Madison, Wisconsin. They have a lot of young Midwestern people writing on their staff. So it's really this focus on kind of the common everyman is kind of their tends to be like the focus of most of their articles, and that's an angle that we really wanted to bring to Gustavus, like what can be sort of our every person and kind of like who are we crafting articles for.
Onion's definitely the big name. I'd say recently Clickhole, which is still kind of part of the Onion, which pokes fun at like BuzzFeed and like Upworthy and all those like kind of trashy Facebook articles that your like weird friends on Facebook post. And so we've done a few things with that have been really well received. If it's just like a photo album or something along those lines. But I would definitely say the Onion's still the kind of like the archetype that we follow.
So earlier in our site's history, we had comments enabled, which is a dangerous thing to do on the internet, as I'm sure we all know. And one of the most amazing comments we received was on this article in which we were writing about how Gustavus was going to invest several $million, I think like $12 million, to raise the topographical level of our hill like 5 feet to take the title of the highest college in south central Minnesota from St. Olaf. So clearly just like this outlandish statement. But we did get one person, it didn't seem to be coming from the Gustavus community, but it was someone who just was dumbfounded that a college administration would be investing this kind of financial weight to literally raise the shelf of our hill. So that's one example of how we've been taken seriously. But I think that for the most part, this community is so small and so engaged that everybody kind of knows what's going on, and people either just in how people are sharing the articles or the comments, or hopefully the tone and content of the article themselves, it's clear that it's satirical and comedic in nature. I think that the internet has also massively transformed how this sort of work is done. Actually, Gustavus has had a few comedic publications or rise in the past, but they tend to be a little bit short-lived. We're hoping that won't be the case with us. And we think that just the efficiency of internet publication is insane. I mean, The Onion gets 11 million unique monthly visitors every month, and before they went to the only online, they reached a circulation of 500,000, which is huge, but just comparing 500,000 to 11 million, you just really see like how incredible the internet is in terms of serving as a platform for sharing content. We've had a few articles, a lot of articles actually, get more views than there are Gustavus students, which is, I think, just speaks so strongly to like how things bounce outside of their targeted audiences and really and can get some major traction.
Our success kind of speaks volumes about the administration and then alumni, and just how well received we were was really impressive. Early on, they had a meeting with Tim Kennedy, and they were kind of nervous for it about trademark and just legal mumbo jumbo, and it ended up being just a really positive meeting. Like only like positive things came out of it. And then the board of trustees, he said, sent you guys a lot of emails that were just really supportive. And so, I mean, that obviously says really good things about Gustavus if they can take a kind of like an entity that is maybe pushing the bill a little bit, but also doing it in a support, kind of like a smart and edgier way that ultimately says truths about Gustavus, but maybe says them in a little bit of an uncomfortable way. But I think at the same time, the students received it well, alumni receiving it well, and if the administration realizes that we're funny, then like I don't think they're going to complain.
One thing we're really excited about with Scott Dicker's visit is Cab was gracious enough to connect us for a 45-minute Q&A session with him the morning after his speech. So just to have that opportunity to engage with one of like the greatest minds in American satire and even news is just such an incredible opportunity. So we're gonna get to bounce ideas off him, hear about his creative process, and we're just really excited to hear what he has to say because he's been on the forefront of this publication that's offered very well received and widely read commentary on all sorts of American stories from 1988 to today. I mean, that's just a long tenure of. So I think his lens on American history is going to be really cool to hear, having like walked through all these events over the last 20 odd years. So we're just so excited about his speech and so grateful to Cav for bringing him on, and unbelievably thrilled that we have the opportunity to have some individual time as an organization with him the next day.
The event is happening on Thursday, April 23rd at 7 p.m. in the chapel, and that we have tickets, but it's free tickets. It's just kind of to know how many students are coming to it. So we won't turn you away if you don't have a ticket, but it'll also be drastically helpful to us. If you were to pick up a ticket, you can pick them up at the CEO desk, or you can order online at gustavustickets.com. Or we've been tabling them with them as well, so you can just kind of grab them like you could do for Building Bridges, and then just come enjoy the speech. And he also is going to be doing like a little meet and greet thing afterward where you can get things signed, things like that. And he also is going to be bringing some of his books for sale as well.
Scott Dickers will be here on April 23rd at 7 p.m. in the chapel. Tickets are free for students, and they're available at the CAO desk and online. This week, Devan and Alaina were out asking Gusties our question of the week.
The question is, what are you doing this summer?
Oh, okay. Wait, I have to respond now?
I'll be backpacking in Negril, Jamaica.
Wow, with some friends or?
Just myself, actually. My brother was there over spring break, and he's gonna give me a little bit of the details.
How to?
This summer, I will be going back up north, and I will be mowing lawns and being awesome by running and stuff, I guess.
Cool.
Also, I'm gonna finish 2 of my books that I'm writing.
I'm going home to my country in Vietnam. I'm just gonna travel around the country, the beach. Yes.
I'm working at K-Force. It's a recruiting company in Bloomington, Minnesota. I'll be placing people in IT and financial positions at Wells Fargo, Delta Airlines, and U.S. Bank.
I'm going to be a youth director at Elam Lutheran Church, Robbinsdale. So I get to go to camp like 3 times, praise Jesus, all the time. Not even just summer, all the time. And eat, sleep.
Teaching lessons, piano and trumpet.
Ooh. Musical. Yeah.
Yeah, to little kids, some high schoolers.
I'd like for someone to come along and give me like $10 million or something, and I can just like put it away and live on that for the rest of my life.
No, yeah, put it in a bank.
Yeah.
Because you'll just like make millions.
Well, I was thinking some
later.
kind of like mutual fund or something, you know?
I don't know, but mutual fund sounds like a good idea. Like it's a good investment.
So if you have $10 million, I mean.
Oh, that's what that means. Yeah, see, I've got a solid $500 in the bank right now.
It's close.
Yeah, we could probably invest that.
Thanks, Devan and Alaina. That's all we have for you tonight, so enjoy the movie, and as always, keep it classy, Gustavus.
So is the fact that we're naked from the waist down an issue for the interview? Is that on screen?
Or do you have to pay more to like get the?
It'll be a pay-per-view.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
So
Cool.
Just people will like enter their credit cards and then
Good.
That's great.
Yeah. Can we get a slice of that?
you'll be put into 1% of the profit.
It's better than we normally do.
That's fair.
I think
Proportion-wise, I think that's
big winner
fair.